Hey guys, we're going to start doing some videos in this unit that relate to looking at real life data. So one of these videos is going to be all about something called a dot plot. So that's kind of how we're going to get started today, is learning about what is a dot plot and when would I use it. So to start with, we're going to start with a problem. We're going to say example 1, and our question is, what is the weight of a house mouse? So let's say your teacher in class asks you, like, okay, how much does what do you think an average house mouse would weigh if you were to weigh it? So you decide, okay, I'm going to go out and do an experiment. I'm going to go find some mice and start weighing them. And you start collecting how much they weigh. Okay, so you do this and you get a bunch of numbers and you decide to organize them in a table. Here's what it looks like. You've gone out and found all these different mice and you've got their weight and you've measured them in grams. So one of the mice weighed 20 grams, another one's 18 grams, another one's 28, 20, 19, and so on. So each one of these represents one mouse that you weighed. Well, looking at all these numbers in the table is okay, and I hope if you need to pause the video, you can to copy that table down. But I want to organize this in another way. So I'm going to take all these numbers and put them into a dot plot. Here's the first thing I need to think about. Thing number 1 I really want to think about is, what's the smallest number and what's the largest number that I have? So I want to look at those extremes. So what's the smallest? I'm going to write smallest, question mark, and largest, question mark. Because that's really the first thing we need to figure out so that we can set up our dot plot. So let's see, I see a 19, I see an 18. Anything smaller than 18, there's another 18. I think 18 is our smallest number. So I'm going to write over here, 18 is the smallest. What is our largest number? Well, I see 28. Do you see a mouse that is any heavier than 28 grams? I think 28 might be the largest mouse we found. So our dot plot is going to go from 18 to 28. Okay, so second step, now that I know the smallest and the largest, is we're going to set up a number line. And our number line is going to focus on just the numbers that we care about, 18 to 28. So underneath down here, I'm going to draw a long line. If I had my ruler, I would grab my ruler and try to make this nice. I know I'm going to start at 18, because that was my smallest number. And then I'm going to count up to 28. So let's see, make sure you have enough space. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I had some extra room. Okay, let's put our numbers on here. 19, 20, 21, 22. We'll get all the numbers on here. And I can stop at 28 because that's all I needed. I had a couple extra, I can put them on here, but really didn't matter. You can stop at 28. And then here's what we do with our number line. We're going to put a little dot, that's what's called a dot plot, wherever there was a mouse that weighed that much. Here's what I mean. If I had a mouse that was 20, then I'm going to go find 20 and I'm going to put a dot right above it. That's one mouse. Okay, I'm going to cross it out in my table now and go to my next number. If I had a mouse that was 18, I'm going to put a dot at 18. If I had a mouse that was 28, I'm going to go way out to 28 and put a dot. I'll cross it out. If I had a mouse that was 20, I'm going to go to 20. Oh, I already had one at 20, so I'm going to put another dot up above it. I'm going to stack them. And then I have a mouse that's 19, so I'll put one right here at 19. Cross the 19 out. Here's another 19. I'll put it right on top. Cross it out. Here's another 20. Okay. Here's a 23, so let's see, 23, 21, and then it looks like the last one here is 22. Okay, so we'll keep on going with this. Now we're going to do 21, then we're going to do 27, cross those out, and then 20 again, geez, and then 18 again. And then 21 again, just kind of keep on doing these. 20 again, which is way over here. 21 again. 19, Should give myself some more room. 27, way out here. And then one last one at 20. Wow, I almost ran out of space. Okay, here is my dot plot. So I have now taken all those numbers that we've collected from going out and weighing the mice, and I've graphed it in a way that I'm hoping will make people be able to look at it and make sense of it. So, you know, if you pretend your teacher asks you, like, how much does a mouse weigh, typically? Looking at my numbers, I'm probably not going to say 27 or 28 grams. Now that I can see the line, I'm going to say most of the mice weigh close to 20, probably. That's where most of them are. Or 19 or 21 grams, very close to here. It looks like it's not very common to have these big mice that are 27, 28. Probably a good thing. Nobody wants a 27-gram mouse running around their house. But nobody wants a mouse running around their house anyways. The reason we do this dot plot is because we want to be able to like visually see the numbers. In this table, I couldn't really tell. Like I was kind of looking at the table like, I don't know, somewhere in the 20s. But now I feel like when I look at the dot plot, like, oh, really close to exactly 20 is what I'm expecting if most mice to weigh. So this really gives me a good way of seeing the data. Let's try another one, just to keep practicing this. So we're going to do example 2. And for our second problem, here is the data we're going to study. Somebody goes out and measures the height of 6th graders and measures them in inches. And so this is each 6th grader that's been measured. So this guy is 58 inches tall. This person's 65 inches, 62 inches, 61 inches, and so on. And if you look just at the numbers, I mean, really, it kind of just looks like a list of numbers to me. When I'm looking at it, I don't see much in that data. But I probably would if I had a dot plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those numbers, and I'm going to move this up a little bit, and we're going to build our dot plot down below. So there's my number line. Don't forget how we get this thing started. We got to look for the smallest and the largest number to get things going. So what is our smallest number here? I see 58. That's pretty small. There's another 58. I think that's the smallest. Okay, so it's 58. I'll circle it so I don't forget. I'll put it here. 58 is the smallest number. What's the largest number we need to get up to? Tallest 6th grader in this list could be 65, 64, no, 60, 62. Here's another 65. I think it's 65. So we got to get all the way up here to 65. So if I go 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Perfect. So I'm going to label it 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Awesome. So I'm setting this up from small to big, and then everywhere there's a 6th grader with that height, I'm going to put a dot. So first one was 58, so above 58, I'm going to put a dot. Cross that out. The next one's 65. That's a tall 6th grader up here. I'll put a dot for that guy. 62 is going to be right here. 61, probably here. 62, another guy right here. 64, that'd be right here. 62 again. Okay, that's over here. 60, that's here. 58, it's back here. 62, see, I'm just kind of going through each of these, cross them out, make a dot. 63, 65, another one of these, and 62. And this is kind of one of the reasons I like this dot plot, is because once I see it with the numbers and the dots, I totally understand the numbers way better than I did when I had this list. This list looked like a bunch of numbers in the 60s. That's all I saw. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, whoa, most 6th graders in this class or in this group are 62 inches tall. There's a few 65 little taller guys and there's a few shorter guys, 58, but most of them are really close to 62. So I can really see those numbers a whole lot better, way more visually. So that's kind of the purpose of a dot plot. When you have a whole bunch of numbers and you want to be able to kind of see them, it's your visual way of seeing them. So we're really talking about using our eyes to see the data, A lot of people like dot plots because they're easy to read and understand. I could ask you questions like, how many sixth graders are 65 inches tall in this group? And you'd be like, oh, 1, 2, 2 kids. I mean, you could answer questions really fast. Or, where are the most sixth graders? Oh, most of them are 62 inches. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that are that tall. That's easy for me to answer, much easier than if I didn't have this and I had to look at the list. I could still answer those questions, but it would be a little harder for me to say it quickly. So again, that's why we like the visual. So stay posted. I'm going to be putting out a bunch more videos related to dot plots and data and really just knowing how to look at a lot of numbers and figure out what's going on. Thanks, you guys.